Hello, this is Diane Cox, back with some tarot goodness. We're going to do a little May guidance. So I'm going to do a 5-pointed star reading this evening, and it is a nice. This one is basically about priorities. What are my priorities for the month ahead? So I have shuffled the cards, and let's go ahead and see what the main priority is for May. Okay, so here we go. Oh, well, that's nice. So the main priority, Rider-Waite deck this month, is that the lovely Nine of Pentacles. And there has been a trial, tribulation, there's been ups and downs, and here at last we have a moment of celebrating that which we have accumulated, and not only financially and maybe your possessions or your savings, money coming in, or stability, security. It can also represent a sense of achievement and recovery of self-esteem and self-respect. Okay, so that's an interesting priority for May, isn't it? And then the second card is what is blocking me finding that. What can be the block to me actually achieving that and manifesting that? And the card that's come up, don't see quite how that will block it, but hey. So the card that's come up is the World. Now, the world can often be seen as having everything in duality, everything is complete, the completed circle, everything is tied up, and we have these wonderful creatures in the corner and representing their own fantastic representation. The World as a blocking card. Okay, this is how I see this today. It's when you have everything or everything's tied up, it can make you maybe a bit lethargic. And it's like, well, what's the point? What's my priority? I haven't really got one because I seem to have done it all. I seem to have achieved it all. I seem to have manifested it all. So it's like, oh, okay. So maybe it's a little message of, yes, okay, that particular chapter has been completed. And there's another chapter to basically come forward. So the World is like, wow, okay. Blocking as a blocking card. Let me see if anything else comes up about that. The World, completion, feeling like you have everything. Yeah, it does feel just like so therefore what there's no motivation. Okay, lack of motivation to get on and do something else. It's just like, I'll just sit here and just ride on that wave for now, which I don't really see is all that bad. So what I'll do is I'll put a photograph of this reading at the end, okay, so you can see this lovely 5-pointed star. And then what we have for the third card, the third point is, what can I change about that? Okay, okay, so we have, why does this card keep coming up for me lately? Okay, so it's the Knight of Wands. As you know, for me, Lord Flashheart is kind of, but reverse. So, you know, the Knight of Wands is gung-ho, dashing in, knight in shining armor, get on with it, get it done, do your bit and be wonderful and save the world. And this kind of goes in with the World, actually, because it's like, well, feeling like you don't really want to do that. You're again lacking in motivation. You're holding back. So maybe it's an interesting message, isn't it? So what are my priorities? It's like you've got the Nine of Pentacles, great, you know, that whole kind of tangible resources, gathering together, acknowledging your resources, acknowledging the self-respect and esteem. The World, which is like, okay, but now what's my motivation? And then the Knight of Wands, which is like, okay, I'm not going to really be a knight in shining armor. I'm just going to sit back a bit and see how things roll. So what can I change? I mean, to have that in a point of what can I change, maybe to put the Knight of Wands back up on its feet and do make a difference and do go and do stuff, do be active. After this might cause a little bit of, oh, great, lack of motivation because I've done it, I've got it. And so maybe to what can you change is your sense of purpose, your sense of what do you want next. What is your next priority if you feel like you've already achieved the priority that you had set? But this is for May, so think about May, what you want to get done. And then the next card is what must I accept? So let's see what must one accept to achieve these priorities or get your priority done. And here we have the 7 of Cups, the card of choices, lots of choice. Sometimes you feel like there's too much choice. This actually makes sense. Yeah, too much choice, a little bit confused, having to make a discerning effort about what you're choosing and why you're choosing it, what the motivation is for making that choice. So that is actually quite an interesting one. The 7 of Cups going, I don't know. Look, even the guy looks like he's doing that with his shoulders. I don't know what to choose. Really goes in with the reversed Knight of Wands and that World as a blocking card. So what are you going to choose? What do you want? Sometimes I think it's a lot easier for people to talk. In fact, I know from my experience of working with thousands of clients over the years, is it's a lot easier for people to say what they don't like, what they're not enjoying, what isn't working. And when you say to people, okay, what do you actually want? What do you want? People often just do not know what they want. So maybe for May, it's about really being honest about what you want. And you might have ground to a halt. You might have gone, oh, okay, I've completed one cycle, not quite sure. I'm feeling a little bit lackluster. I'm not quite sure what to do, whether to just sit back and wait or to, move forward. I don't really know how to move forward because I don't really know what I want. So I think May is about sitting down and really going, okay, what do you want? What is the next move? And I think it's very hard to be to really look at the depth of the heart and soul and admit to yourself what you actually want. What do I really, really want? Because sometimes we can shock ourselves about what we really want and we don't want to admit it. And, we distract ourselves and do all other kinds of things instead of just going, actually, I really want this. And I'm shocked I really want that because it's something I've never wanted in my whole life, or I've looked down on for my whole life, or whatever, or I never thought I could achieve it my whole life. So yeah, I think this is very interesting for May, that all those choices, and just be mindful and don't rush into making decisions, but think about it, meditate on it, do some work on it, okay? And then the last card, the 5th point, is okay, how do we progress? Advice and guidance on how we move forward. How do we progress and move through May with this slight feeling of, don't quite know how to go forward, not quite sure about, maybe feeling like you lost your mojo about what you want to do. Or being truthfully honest and having faith in your own decision. So what's the last card? How do we want to progress? Okay. This is how we want to progress. I really like that. And you know why I like that? Because it's like turning the devil on its head. The devil reversed. That is lovely, isn't it? So the devil reverse. So obviously the devil upright is facing the shadow, facing the darkness, facing that about ourselves which we would rather not face, the animal instincts, the base energy of humanity. And on its head, it's actually, for me, I find it quite a positive card when it's reversed, because it's like, those chains that these people are under when it's upright, when you turn it upside down, those chains can just fall off. Move away from your own kind of thinking, your own thinking, maybe that's a bit harsh, but you know, your own baseness. Move away from that thinking you're a victim. Move away from thinking other people have got power over you. Move away from that idea that you're a prisoner, that you can't do anything, that you're not autonomous, that someone's always making decisions for you. You know, this is about, you know, get away from the devil, get away from all the influences of darkness, and free yourself from the shackles, and move into, you know, those, what do you want? How do you, the only way to progress is, again, to face up to the inner self and the inner yearnings of self and go, okay, I free myself, I liberate myself. That's what I get from this today. So it's a card of, in order to progress, you need to liberate yourself. Now that could be liberating your mind, liberating your thoughts, liberating your actions, liberating your choices, you know, thinking that, you know, you don't have to go down one road. And again, it's about, what's really coming up for me is it's about you. It's about having faith in you, having trust in your own self and your own decisions and what you want to do, what you want to achieve, regardless of those around you, regardless of what other people say, regardless of everybody else sticking their opinion in. It's like, this is about me. I've got to sit down. I've got to manifest this. This is a beautiful card to start off with, and then realize there's other influences that we need to free ourselves from. That could be people, thoughts, situations, vibrations, energy. Do some cleansing in your house. Do some cleansing in yourself. Do some smudging. Do some chanting. Put some salt down. Do some lovely, you know, get some sage, water, salt, like I say, anything that you feel will cleanse and allow yourself to be good breath work, that will allow you to just be yourself and make your own decisions. So that's quite an interesting thing for me.